my God.
They just let anybody in here.
Yeah, that's right.
Just get the full tour of the whole city. Yeah, so we're at the Gillette Children's Hospital over here in St. Paul. Just trying to put a smile on these kids' faces. You know, they're going through a lot right now. So just be able to come over and visit, bring TC along. You know, he's the fan favorite. So just be able to do that this morning is awesome. I mean, I think it's important just, you know, to try and give back. You know, with where I'm at in my life, you know, it's awesome to be able to come here. You know, kind of be looked up to, but to ultimately just come in here and hang out with the kids, you know, it kind of puts everything in perspective for me of, you know, how blessed I am. My wife, Kendall, she works in healthcare. She's in PA school, so she comes home and she tells me a lot of stories about kids and about the patients that she sees. So, you know, it gives a unique perspective on, you know, the life that I'm blessed to have, and, you know, to be able to kind of give back to, you know, those, you know, who may be struggling or, you know, have some hardships in their life, to be able to come in and put a smile on their face. You know, it means a lot. Should I pitch in this, TC? Pitch like this? Yeah?
He throws baseballs. Oh, like, are you a pitcher?
Pitcher, yeah.
Pitcher. Cool, what's your name?
Zebby.
Zebby,
Yeah.
alright, cool. Thanks for visiting us.
Yeah, you're doing great. Can't speak enough about the staff that we have here with the Twins. You know, from Pablo, Joe, Bailey, everybody, even, you know, all the young guys. We have a great group here. You know, we're all very close, and I know Pablo and Joe and Bailey, being kind of the veterans of the staff. They've been, you know, such a great presence. I know for me and for all the young guys. You know, you see the way they carry themselves on the field, but then off the field too. You know, in the community, they're great faces in the community. You know, they go around and they're always willing to help people and put smiles on people's faces. So just trying to kind of follow in their footsteps, trying to learn from them, and, you know, kind of do what they do. Then once you get, you know, with a bunch of young guys who are very hungry to try and prove themselves, prove that we can pitch up here, you know, it gets, you know, a little extra boost there. You know, you watch the way Taj and Mick come in. You know, they get traded at the deadline, but they come in and they attack every day. You know, they're competing, you know, and they've got really good stuff. So to watch them come in and compete every day, but then also, you know, with me, Dave, and Sim, you know, have been here a little longer, but, you know, we're still, you know, competing and getting outs and, you know, trying to help the team win in any way we can. So, you know, we're all just kind of pushing each other along. You know, it's such a great group. I can't speak enough to the group here, and, you know, I think there's a lot of good things coming for, you know, the starting rotation moving forward.
It's cool. It's great to see all the young guys getting to come up and pitch well and struggle, and yeah, just learn through that process. I mean, a lot of the guys have a lot better stuff than I did at that time too, so it's cool to see just like the potential there, and I kind of dream on that. I'm like, okay, it's only one pitch or a couple things are a little bit off, but like you're really close. Like Zebby and I were going over some games the other day in Anaheim and just seeing his strengths, going over a good outing. Or Sonny did that for me. One of the first things we did in spring training, he was like, all right, let's go have a dig me sesh and go watch like a really good game. And so he was showing me that, and like just looking at like there's always positives to be taken away from outings when you're going well, obviously, and stick with that. But at the same time, like where are maybe some details that we could get a little bit better, because even in your worst outing, there's always going to be positives. So yeah, I think just breaking things down, talking to the young guys, seeing how the season can evolve and what they're learning, and just especially this time of the year, like what are you going to take into the off season, what lessons have the season taught you, and how can that make you better going forward?
Joe is one of the best pitchers in the game, you know, without a doubt. You watch what he does every day in, day out. From a starting pitcher, like you want that out of, you know, your frontline starters. So to watch what he does, you know, I think every start, I think you can look at everybody in the dugout, everybody in the stands, like they're focused on Joe, and for good reason. You know, he's very entertaining with his antics on the mound.
I wouldn't say I'm like actively trying to express myself. I think it's just trying to stay present in the moment, and yeah, I think not trying to focus, just focusing. And focus, I think, can look different for different people at different times, and I have my little focal points that I'll go to. It's nice to have the pitch calm, to be able to settle in and not have to just stare at the catcher and do that the whole time. I can really just kind of like look off into the distance and then hone in on one spot and execute my pitch to the best of my ability, and allows me to just kind of remove myself from the situation and just kind of think about a sequence of what we might want to see pertaining to that specific at bat. So yeah, I think sometimes it probably gets a little out of hand, and there's definitely some ridiculous antics where I'm just shaking my head at myself after the game. I had this shift of like, okay, well, if I'm talking during my bullpens and we're like looser during my bullpens, then I can execute exceptionally well there. So why can't I do that on the mound during the game? Because I think just pitching and hitting are so different. You're in control and you're deciding what pitch is going to be thrown as the thrower of the baseball. So hitting's a lot more reactive, so I get why you need to be just a little bit, you have to be locked in, you're on someone else's schedule, but I'm creating the schedule and I'm deciding what I'm doing, so that can look different.
The way he approaches the game, how he thinks about a start, how he competes out there, it's awesome to see. And I know he's been a big help to me, especially throughout the later part of this year, trying to just pick his brain, learn as much from him as possible, and get some ideas for off season and then how to continue to improve.
Yeah, I think delusion is very important, especially in this game. I think looking back, yeah, it's kind of like I was probably like mentally like, yeah, I can do anything. Anything's possible. And then looking at like the stuff I was throwing at the time, I'm like, is it? Just an interesting evolution to just kind of go through. And hopefully I look back at this year in a couple of years and I'm thinking like, damn, you could have been way better if you did this. So yeah, I think it's just always something to learn, always something to get better at. And looking back, I think the mentality carried me through for a long time of just trying to be the best and outcompete people and make sure I put the ball in good spots. I think that hasn't changed. Throwing strikes, attacking hitters, not being afraid to throw pitches in the zone. I think that's always going to be a common theme, but what those pitches look like and how I might be doing that can evolve.
Hey, we didn't throw in here, huh? First time, bro. I'm trying to take it all in. I'm about to be like a tourist, you know, in another country kind of thing, like I'm in Paris or something. No, I'm definitely not nervous. I'm excited. It's gonna be good. I got my friend Kendall. We're gonna do it together. It's not gonna be a lonely thing, you know. That's what's gonna help a lot.